Preparing live stream.
Yeah. I think we're going to kill it, dude, if we can just get momentum, because everything's done now.
They're gonna hear you.
Preparing live stream.
Yeah. Talk about that.
I think we're going to kill it, dude, if we can just. Oh,
All right, there's a lag. So we're on. We're live.
okay, great. Are you going to have the YouTube?
Oh yeah, I can.
Oh,
let me get my-
she's got to get YouTube so I can see who's on and all that stuff. I think are we live right now? Hey, everybody. It's Tony and Bob. So we're coming to you live. We're going to get started here in a minute. I got to get the iPad up so I can see who all's online with us. It's going to be a terrific program tonight. Tony's really put a lot of great stuff together on how to duplicate and build. It's a 3-part series. So tonight's the first part. We'll have another one on Saturday morning on the Coffee with Bob. So it'll be Coffee with Bob and Tony. And then on Tuesday, we'll do the final piece of this. It's three separate presentations that all intertwine to each other to help you build your business. So it's really a tribute to what Tony has put together, who's got huge amounts of experience in this side of the business. And he put a great presentation together. We just posted up actually a few minutes ago on our YouTube channel. Let me see who's online. Let's see. We got Legacy Ride Share, which is William Mathis. Hey, William, how you doing, buddy? And then we've got Jose Hernandez. He's online with us. Guillermo. So we got people rolling in right now. So we got to wait just a few more minutes so we can get some build up in that. Tony, you want to kind of just give them a quick little overview what you're going to cover tonight?
Yeah, I mean the main thing we're gonna touch on is really with the full 3-part training is geared around duplication. And when you can duplicate yourself, when you can create leverage in your business, it's really how you generate wealth. There's only so many hours we can work in a day. And so if you build a team of 10 people that go out and work 5 hours, for the day, that's 50 hours combined that those 10 people went out and worked. And if you worked all day without getting any sleep, the most you could possibly put in is 24 hours. So you're going to have a hard time competing with those 10 people that are working part-time. If you've got 100 people in your organization that each work an hour part-time for the day, that's 100 hours that they're logging. And the bottom line is when you start to understand that leverage and that duplication, that's really how you can create an empire with Trip Delivers. And so tonight's training is really going to focus on the first part, which is inviting. And there's a few things that it takes, a few skill sets that it takes to really master duplication and to really go out and create leadership within your organization. And so we're going to touch on all of those skill sets. And the one we're really going to focus on tonight is going to be how to invite, how to share this information, share the opportunity of Trip Delivers within your network with warm market, cold market, and how you can go out and start to build a massive organization.
Yeah, I think, Tony, I've talked about this. How do we engage people to bring on other people? In other words, you and I are talking and we're going to start our business. And we said, oh, okay, well, we need to bring 2 people each. So there's 2 of us, we're going to bring 2. So we got 6. So the next call after that is getting those 4 people engaged and then them bringing another additional, whatever it might be, another 4 or 6 or 10 people. And you start building that through phone calls and building that business relationship with people so they really understand the business and get momentum built. And before you know it, you could have 5, 6, 7,000. I've seen it. I've been there where you could have 5, 6, 7, 10,000 people on a call, and you build such unbelievable momentum that the thing just gets. Once you get about 8 to 10,000 people, the thing just explodes because it's incremental growth by double. So once you get started and just kind of walk through people, I mean, we'll do follow-ups with everybody that we sent out text messages to today. and send this back out to everybody so they can see what's going on, so we can start building momentum into the company.
Perfect. So I'm going to share my screen, guys. So we're gonna run through just like I said, the first part of this 3-part training, and we're going to have some new tools that you haven't seen yet that are going to be available for everybody. And so we're definitely excited about kind of unloading and launching these new tools. So this training is really going to be on how to duplicate, how to create massive momentum within your organization, and the basics of really creating that massive momentum and that empire within Trip Delivers. There's 4 skill sets. You want to learn how to recruit, educate, motivate, and then eventually you're going to duplicate. And tonight's training, part 1, is really going to be focused on the recruiting side. And there's 3 different types of people that we're going to focus on recruiting with Trip Delivers: marketers, restaurants, and drivers. Tonight's training is going to focus on recruiting other marketers. We are going to run trainings here in the near future that are going to share with you how to onboard a restaurant, how to go out and pique a restaurant's interest, how to recruit them in to become part of the Trip Delivers family. There's going to be trainings that we're going to run in the near future on how to get drivers involved. But this one is really going to focus on bring on other marketers, because when you really strip this business down, the marketers are really the ones that are going to go out and aggressively focus on team building and multiplying their efforts. And the marketers are the ones that are eventually going to end up duplicating your efforts. So, that's definitely what we want to focus on tonight. When you're recruiting marketers, 3 things, kind of 3 steps into the inviting phase. When you invite them, you're going to invite them to take a look at information. You're going to expose them to the information, and then you're going to close them into the business. And, when I first got into this industry, close, a lot of times there's kind of a negative connotation, but the bottom line is sales or closing, all it is a transference of belief. If you have a product or service that you really believe in, it's not hard to close people on it. Think of a great restaurant. Whatever city you're in right now, whatever city you're from, your favorite restaurant that you love to go to. And if you have friends that come in from out of town, this is the spot that you take them to. And it's not hard for you to sell them on the idea of, hey, let's go to this place, because you believe in it. And so they're like, yeah, I'd love to go. It's not hard to sell them on the fact you're closing them on the idea of going to that restaurant and eating that evening. There's tons of restaurants they could choose. Obviously, you can go to the grocery store and grab some food. But if you've got this place that you really love and you share it with people, there's an ease of transferring that belief. And that's what we're really going to be doing with Trip Delivers. There's a lot of people right now that are in need of an opportunity. Financially right now, a lot of people are getting smoked with the pandemic that's going on, and they're looking for ways to diversify their income streams. And Trip Delivers is an amazing way to do that. That not only is it not affected by the pandemic, it's bolstered by the pandemic. The longer the lockdowns stay on, the more people have to order in to get their food from restaurants, the bigger the delivery business grows. And, the bottom line is, if you can align yourself within an industry that's growing right now in such a tough economy, there's not a better place you could be. The inviting side, the first step to really getting inviting down is, who are you going to invite? You've got to make your list. You want to write down as big of a list as possible. I always start, with this bad boy, my smartphone. I mean, that's the easiest way to start your list. I want to go with people that I'm in contact with quite a bit. After I get through my smartphone, I go through my social media. I start looking at my Facebook, how many friends, and I just go through my entire friends list. I literally go through my entire friends list, which I just removed. It's funny, but as I'm going through my friends list, there's people that maybe have disabled their accounts or they moved out of country or whatever. And I'm looking for, kind of people here in the United States. And so I'll go through my list, which it's always near 5,000. And it takes a while to go through that list, but I just flat out do it. I go through every one. So I don't have a 50 or 500 names list. I've got, and outside of Facebook, I probably have a 20,000 names list. That people that I can contact, that I've had conversations with, have emails. So you want as big of a list as possible. And you never want to prejudge. We always want to narrow down, who are your top 10, top 20, top 50. You definitely want to kind of figure out who your top people would be, most influential, best attitude, most successful people. Those are people that are going to be at the top of your list, but don't leave out people that may be on the bottom of the list. I started in the networking industry when I was just out of college, looking for work, living in my parents' basement. And so I wouldn't have been on the top 10 list for anybody, but I thank God every day that somebody thought enough of me to at least put me on the list and share information with me. The other side of it is, don't leave somebody off the list because you think they're too successful. The more successful a person is, the more open they are to opportunity. And so you never want to prejudge. Right now, more people than ever are looking at ways to diversify, and more people than ever are needing an opportunity in their lives. So you want to start inviting people from your list to hear about this opportunity. The key is to not say too much. Your goal is just to get them interested and let them hear the information like you heard the information. And we've got a new tool that we're going to be launching, and I'll share that with you here shortly. But there's 3 types of invites. The first is lead with our videos. And tonight we're going to have on the YouTube channel a presentation video that's going to be made public. It might be public right now on the YouTube channel. And it's a 14-minute, maybe 14-minute and 30-second overview. And it breaks down who Trip Delivers is as a company, what we do, what we're looking to do in the near future, and how people can benefit financially by locking arms with us. So I would almost exclusively be sharing the videos with people, because if you lead with the videos, it's duplicatable, which is really the key to this whole training. You can also lead with your why, and I'll share that with you as well. But even when you're leading with your why, you're still going to guide people to the video. And then there's the traditional 4-step invite, which I'll share that with you. And even when you're doing the 4-step invite, you're going to guide them to the video. So no matter what, the video is the goal. When we're inviting someone to see the Trip Delivers opportunity, we're inviting them to take a look at a video that'll take them less than 15 minutes to get through the entire thing. And that video is enough information for them to know either A, this is something that looks amazing, B, this is something I've got a lot of questions about, or C, maybe it's not the right timing for them, but maybe they'd become a customer. Maybe they'd order delivery and you'd get paid off of that every time they order delivery. So you can win whether they get partnered up as a marketer or whether they become a customer. Either way is a win for each of us. With the invite, when you're leading with the videos, one of the best, I guess, phrases is kind of the, if I did this, would you do that? If I blank, would you blank? So the question is, if I sent you a couple videos that last a few minutes, would you check them out? That's a pretty simple question. It's either a yes or no. Now, the bottom line is I cannot control whether they say yes or no. I can only control whether I ask the question. Hey, if I sent you a video that's less than 15 minutes, would you check it out? And the bottom line is it's either a yes or no. The people that say yes, I send the video. The people say no, I'll circle back around. I'll ask them again. I'll ask them that question again a few weeks later, a month later, 2 months later. It doesn't matter to me. No doesn't mean never. It means not yet. So that's the simple invite for a video. If you do the lead with a why, it gets a little more in depth, and that's kind of telling your story. Hey, during this pandemic, I was looking for a way to kind of shield myself from a lot of economic hardships that are hitting people right now. And I finally found a way to do that. I'm really excited. I know you're going to want to see what I'm up to. When are you free today or tomorrow for about 10 or 15 minutes? Then you wait for them to answer. When they tell you, you let them know, great, I'm going to send you a link to a video. I want you to take a look at it and I'll call you. So you said 10 o'clock today, I'll send it to you right now. At about 10:20, I'll give you a call and just kind of see what your thoughts are and see if you have any questions. So lock down the time, lead with your why. Hey, I was looking for a way to kind of replenish some of my savings because, with this pandemic, I've had to dip into savings. So I'm trying to, kind of replenish my savings. save more for retirement. I finally found a way to do it. I'm really fired up about it. I know you're going to want to see this. When are you free today, today or tomorrow for about 10 or 15 minutes? Period. It's a pretty simple thing. You might want to travel more. You might want to retire your parents. You might want to make more money, have time freedom. There's a lot of different reasons why someone would partner with Trip Delivers to make extra income. Figure out what your why is, and that's how you utilize your why to invite people to take a look at the information. The 4-step invite, pretty simple. You clear their schedule. That's the first step. Compliment them, leverage credibility, and then get a commitment from them. That's really important. So with a 4-step invite, you want to clear their schedule. Hey, what are you doing tomorrow at 9 p.m.? If they're busy, what I do when I clear a schedule call, because curiosity attracts a lot of people more than about anything else. And that's just human nature. And so I'll say, listen, hey, what are you doing tomorrow around 9 p.m.? Oh man, listen, I'm really busy, Tony. I've got a couple folks that I'm supposed to do a Zoom with tomorrow night. All right, no worries, man. I'll talk to you later. I'm off the phone. Wait, what are you doing? Don't worry about it. I don't got time. I've got a few more calls to make, but I'll talk to you later. I'm off. I'll clear their schedule. I'll come back to them in a day or two, and I'll clear their schedule again. See, when you've got a 500 names list or 1,000 names list, I don't know how many friends you've got on your Facebook page, but the bottom line is, if you've got plenty of names on your list, you really don't need any single person to take a look at information at any single time. And so you can rip through your list. And if someone's not free and you can't clear their schedule, move on to the next person on your list. Some will, some won't. So what? Who's next? So if they say, hey, what are you doing tomorrow night at 9? Nothing. And that's what most people have going on during these times with the pandemic, is they don't have much going on. And you say, perfect. Tell them why they will want to see this information with their background in marketing, management, entrepreneurship, business ownership, their success in investing, whatever their background is that you look at and you say, this is the reason I would want Mary on my team. This is a reason I would want Sandy as a part of my organization. This is the reason I would want Richard to lock arms with me, and how this might affect their lives. So, hey, what are you doing tomorrow night at 9 p.m.? Nothing. Great, Bob. Listen, I just started working on a project, and with your background in upper management right now, this company I'm working with is looking for leadership. And I know with, the pandemic and things have been a little unsure, a lot of us are looking at ways to secure our incomes during these tough times. And with your background, man, I think you could bring a lot of value to what these guys are doing, and it could be pretty lucrative for you. And then you leverage credibility. The key is to give them a reason to want to hear about this from your leadership, because when you show that video, after the video, the main goal of yours is to connect them with the leadership that you're working with. So you tell your leadership story. So it's just funny, but I was talking with Bob, who's all of our leaders, because he's the CEO of the company. He's the gentleman that's built multiple billion-dollar businesses. And so I've got a friend of mine who owns restaurant delivery service, and he sold a chunk of it, but he's still got a decent little chunk left. And I started to tell him about Bob and what Bob has done in his background and how brilliant Bob is for coming up with this idea of disrupting the restaurant delivery business. And so you can utilize your leadership to leverage. So when you've got those Saturday coffees with Bob, you edify Bob and then invite people to get on those Saturday coffees. Let people see the information from the leadership. Get yourself out of the way. If you're brand new to Trip Delivers and you haven't had a lot of success, you don't have a lot of restaurants signed up, you don't want people looking to you for guidance. You want people looking to leaders for guidance. So it's almost like you've got, LeBron James, you've got Steph Curry, they're playing basketball, and you just need to bring people to watch them play, and they're going to be impressed. So tell your leadership story and then get a commitment. It's very important. You're going to want to confirm that time. So, hey, tomorrow at 9, can I count on you to be there? And when they say yes, you've locked them in. So that's the 4-step invite. Remember, professionals don't worry about our prospects saying yes or no. We can't control that. I can control if I ask 10 people to take a look at the information. I can't control whether all 10 will take a look. We can only control how many people we invite. Each person on our list is like getting a free scratch off lottery ticket. If I gave you 100 free scratchers, and let's say the max prize was $1 million, some of them might be $1, some of them might be $10. There might be some $10,000 ones in there. There might be a $1,000 one in there. There might be $1 million one in there. And I gave you 100 free scratchers. And I said, listen, these are free. The top prize is $1 million. There's a bunch of prizes with just a few bucks. There's a lot of them that are going to have nothing. The question I would ask you tonight is, would you scratch those tickets? And I think every single one of us would scratch the tickets. Why wouldn't we? It's free. And there could be $1 million in there. There could be 10,000 in there. There could be 500 in there. There could be a $10 in there. It's the chance to win with zero risk. We didn't have to pay for the lottery tickets. They're free. We'd all scratch them. Your names list is exactly like those lottery tickets. And over the years, I've scratched my names list several times. I've been very blessed. I've had amazing mentors within my life that have taught me these systems, how to go out and build organizations. And I've made millions of dollars in a single year from scratching the right list and getting the right people involved in our organizations. And the bottom line is, you've got that same opportunity right now. And what's amazing is, some of the times when you scratch your lottery ticket in this game, the person might not be a big $1 million hit. It might be a $1 hit. It might not even be a hit at all. It might be a zero. And, they don't want to be a marketer or anything like that, but they become a customer. And then they tell their sister about the business, and their sister becomes a customer. And then their sister learns a little bit more about Trip, and her brother says, hey, you got to talk to my friend Mike, because he's the one that told me about this. And then the sister connects with Mike. And next thing you know, the sister ends up building a massive organization, signing up 100 restaurants in her first month, bringing in a ton of drivers, bringing in a ton of customers. And the next thing you know, you're earning thousands of dollars a month because you scratched not a winning ticket, but that winning ticket that losing ticket led you to that winning ticket. The bottom line is, it's beautiful the way this business works. So each person on your list is literally unlimited potential. All we've got to do is go out and scratch the ticket. All we've got to do is invite them to take a look at the information. Once we get them invited, we expose the information. How do you present? The easiest one is the video presentation. That's the main thing we're going to utilize. Today's pandemic makes it pretty easy for us to choose the video. We also have one-on-one meetings that we can do, 3-way calls with your leadership, Zoom events. Eventually the pandemic will close down and there might be some more live events, but Zoom's an amazing way to go out and really share this information with people. And I've done so many Zoom meetings before the pandemic, just because I was building global organizations with companies. And that's why I've got all the different time zones on my map, so I could figure out when I was talking to somebody in Japan or Malaysia, or if I was talking to somebody in Australia, New Zealand, or if they were in Nigeria, I'd kind of look back and go, all right, I know what time it is there. So I've got a pretty good idea of what they're doing right now. If they're getting ready for dinner, if they're just getting up, or they're getting ready for bed. And so the bottom line is, Zoom's an amazing tool, guys. When you're using the video presentation, peak the video and presentation. You've got the peaking video. There's newer videos that are coming out right now, but we've got some peaking videos for the marketing position that are less than a minute. So you can post those up. You can share those. I almost always will direct message those to people. First, I'll send them a message. Hey, what have you been up to? I'll get a little bit of feedback and say, listen, I'm working on something. It's pretty interesting, but I want to get some feedback. And I'll send them that 1-minute peaking video. And if they go, this looks pretty interesting, go, listen, well, I've got a longer video. What do you got, time 10 or 15 minutes over the next day or two where you could watch a video with a little bit more detail in it. And then they tell you, then you set up a follow-up time 20 minutes after you send it. I'm going to send you the video. You said tomorrow night at around 7 p.m. I'll call you at 7:20. Just want to follow up, get some feedback. And, if you like what you hear, maybe I can connect you with one of the experts that's helping to run this marketplace. So have them agree to watch the information, send the peaking video, send the main video, and let them watch the information and then follow up with them. The one-on-one meetings are pretty easy. If you're personally with them, show them the video, watch it with them on your computer. you know they're watching it right there. Set up the next exposure during the current exposure. So anytime I get someone to watch the video, my next goal is, hey, let's get them on the Saturday call. Let's get them on the training webinars. Let's get them moved through the system so they can learn. And the main thing when they watch that video is I want to get them in contact with my leadership. Whoever I'm working with that's helping me, that's who I want them to get in contact with. You can also do 2-on-1s. That's, if your leadership's available or near you, you can utilize those as well. A lot of times those are going to be on the Zooms though with the pandemic. You can do the 3-way call or Zoom meeting to connect with your leadership. Use your leadership's credibility, edify your leadership, and your leadership will share their story, answer any questions, and they'll help facilitate the close for your prospect. With the credibility triangle, this is kind of the easiest way to explain it. With you and your network, you have a level of trust. They know you, they like you, they trust you. Most of the time, trust and respect and credibility are kind of inverse. So when you first date someone, you take a girl or a guy comes and picks you up if you're a lady and takes you out on a first date. I mean, they dress up, they put on their favorite outfit, they take you to a really nice restaurant, really nice movie, and they're really respectful and you're respectful, and that's just normal, right? You don't know them that well. You have an automatic level of respect for people that you just meet. You want to kind of carry yourself a little bit more guarded, so to speak. You don't have a lot of trust there, but you've got more respect for that person. Now, you've been dating someone for a few years. It's like you go to pick them up to take them out to dinner. You're not walking up to the door with a bouquet of roses. You're, come on, what's taking you so long? And the girls, when you first pick them up and they're all done up, they've got their hair made up, they've got their favorite outfit on. Now, 4 years later, you're honking to pick them up from somewhere. They're running out with their hair in a ponytail, sweatpants on, and, they hop in the car and you're like, hey, where do you want to eat? You hungry? Yeah, let's go to McDonald's. And then the guy asks you if you have any money. It's just a whole different animal. The trust level is way higher. The respect level, credibility level is a lot lower. There's not as much credibility there. And so what you want to do is edify your leadership to build up that credibility. The Saturday coffee call is pretty easy to edify Bob. Hey, listen, I've got a business legend that's doing kind of a business call with a group of us on Saturday morning. I can't make any promises, but I might be able to get you in that call. So this is one of those things where you kind of take it away from, I can't make any promises. So I'm not begging people to get on a call with a legend like Bob McNulty. I'm not. I don't care whether they get on the call or not. I know if I invite enough people, the smart ones will get on the call. So I can't control whether they'll get on or not. So I'll even pull it away from, hey, listen, I can't make any promises. Are you free Saturday? I can try and see if I can get you a spot on this call, and I'll see what I can do. And so you've edified that leadership. Now they've got that respect, that credibility built up, and they trust you. So they believe what you're telling them. And that's going to give us some leverage to share the information. They're going to be excited to hear the information versus if you said, hey, I've got a homeless guy that's going to share an opportunity with me. That's not edification. If you said, hey, I've got a homeless guy that's going to give me real estate advice, that's not the guy I want to take real estate advice from. And listen, there's nothing right or wrong about, people have had tough times, but you've got to look at it from a business perspective. Do I want to take advice from someone who's successful? Do I want to take advice from someone who's done it over and over again, has won in business over and over again? Absolutely. And so when you edify that leadership, they're going to want to hear from your leaders. So that's the credibility triangle. Your presentation is pretty simple. 5 stories you need to master: your story, your leadership story, the company story, the industry story, and the economic story. The overview that is now going to be on the YouTube page for Trip, it's going to give you the company story, the industry story, and the economic story. It's telling that story for you. So you really need to master 1 and 2 initially. And what I would tell you to do, if you want to master 3, 4, and 5, watch the video over and over again. Do presentations with people on Zoom and play the video. Do one-on-ones with people that you can get, within 6 feet of, and show them the video and watch it with them. And you'll learn how to do the presentation. Everyone will have their own style, their own, kind of format that they follow. But the bottom line is the best way to get great at something is to watch and learn over and over and over again so you can master it. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. You're going to need to try, practice. You're going to definitely make mistakes when you initially start presenting. But the bottom line is no one starts out amazing. Michael Jordan didn't start out amazing at basketball. He wasn't able to dribble when he was, a little baby. He got cut from his high school basketball team his sophomore year. So obviously he wasn't the same level of player his sophomore year as he was when he won his 6th NBA championship title and his league MVP. So the bottom line is we all got to go through the tough times to get better. The question is, how long do you want to wait until you get to that level where you've mastered the presentation? The key, again, is to practice, practice, practice. Record yourself. Start doing presentations. Don't wait until you're earning thousands of dollars to start presenting. You're gonna, like I said, need to fight through those first initial struggles before you get great. And then the third part is to close. We invite, we expose the information, and then we close. The close is pretty simple. Hey, what was your favorite part? What was the favorite thing you saw? How interested are you? What's holding you back from getting started right now? These are closing questions that you can ask. What's your favorite part? A lot of times it'll be the money, the earnings. That's going to, in today's economy, a lot of people, that's going to be their favorite thing. Time freedom, travel, being able to help build an organization around the country, the people, being able to connect with people, engage them, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1's not interested at all, 10's getting ready to get started. Where do you think you're at? If they say they're 1 to 4, ask them why their number's so low. Try and find out, maybe there's something they didn't understand. Most of the time, if their number's low, they didn't pick something up. They missed something, and you might be able to share that and fill in that blank for them. If they're 5 to 9, that's great. My job's to get you to a 10. Let me connect you up with my leadership so they can answer any questions you might have and maybe share a little more insight with you. And then perfect. If they're a 10, let's get you in as a marketer and get your website set up. If they're held back from getting started right now, it's probably because they don't understand it. They don't believe it. Maybe they say they don't have time. They don't have the money. We can overcome all of those objections. The main thing I'd ask of you, if you're brand new, is let your leadership handle these objections. And I'd also ask that you're around when they do. So don't set up a leadership Zoom with your prospect and your leader and not be on that Zoom call. I know there's extenuating circumstances sometimes, maybe you're at work and the only time your friend's free is during your work hours, then you do what you got to do. But if you can be on that Zoom, you better be on that Zoom, because they're going to ask a few questions. Your leadership's going to have the exact right answer, and you're going to learn while you're earning. Your leadership's going to move that person forward, going to get them signed up as a marketer. You're going to get your commission. And you're also at the same time will have learned how to answer 3 or 4 main questions. And there's only a group of questions that come in time and time again. And once you hear them a few times, you're going to know the answers over and over and over again. Do you think any of these things are holding you back? Not enough time, not enough money. Answer any questions they have, get them on the phone with leadership, keep the process alive by setting up the next exposure to overcome their skepticism. If they're not interested, awesome. The next step for you is to get educated as possible. Let's get you in as a marketer. If nothing's holding them back, get them in as a marketer and get their website set up. If they're not interested at all, try and get them as a customer. Have them go to your website, say, hey, I'm going to send you a link to our website. You can use my promo code, and basically anytime you order, it'll support me. What I would recommend as a game plan, you get your 100 names list set up. I would do that tonight. Build your 100 names list tonight. Now, maybe you've already got a bigger list than that. Narrow it to your top 100 and go, listen, I've got 100 people that I want to contact. And I would start making a minimum of 2 connections per day. Now, listen, there's people that are going to make 0 connections a day. We understand that. There's other people that will make 100 connections in the next 48 to 72 hours. I can't tell you how many times I've made 300 plus phone calls within 72 hours. I have no problem doing that, ripping through my network. It's just one of those things. I'll send 100 messages out on Facebook, private messages, individual messages. And It's just copy and paste. I'll put their name at the top of it. So I'll copy and paste kind of the main part, and then I'll personalize a few parts of it and then hit send. It takes me, 1 to 2 minutes per message, and I fire out. So it doesn't take but a few hours to reach out to 100, 200 people. So you got to be efficient. You sit down and you make those connections, but I'm not asking you to do something like I do. You don't need to make 100 connections in a day. Make 2 connections in a day. Whatever you set your goal as, set it and be efficient and write your own check. The beauty of this business, 5 marketers puts $1,000 in your pocket. See, I know this. My closing ratio increases as I get better. But even when I'm bad, if I get about 10 people to take a look at the information, I can get about 2 of them locked in and loaded and ready to go, and they'll become a marketer. So if I talk to 10 people and I can get 2 to come in and come on board, that's not too bad. If I need 4 to come in, I talk to 20 people. If I need 8 to come in, I just add 10 more people. If I need 10 to come in, I add 10 more people. 50 people, I get my 10. If I have 10 marketers come in this month and I make $2,000, and that's just straight from the marketer fee. That doesn't include if they go out and start bringing on restaurants, bringing on drivers, the Connect 1, Connect 2, Connect 3 bonuses I'm making off of them. That's literally just off the marketing side. So for someone that says, hey, Christmas is coming up, I could use an extra $1,000, then that just means you need to introduce 5 marketers to the program between now and Christmas time. There's plenty of time to share this video with people right now, because I can promise you this, guys, the next few weeks are setting the stage for 2021. 2020 has been a pretty crazy year. I imagine 2021 is going to be a year of breakouts for a lot of people. There's a lot of people that are going to have amazing breakthroughs in their lives. And there's a lot of people come January 1, when they make their resolutions, they're going to want to turn their lives around from where it's been in 2020. There's going to be more people than ever looking for an opportunity, striving to find something they can do to change their financial futures, not only for themselves, but for their families. And so we need to get out and invite them to take a look at information and let them make a decision for themselves, whether they see themselves changing their financial future for the better with Trip Delivers. The next part is going to be the education part. We're going to do that part 2 Saturday, December 12th. So this Saturday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. So Bob will send out the information for that, guys. What you should be doing tonight, if I were you, is working on your list. And if you're on the West Coast, Mountain Time or whatever, you might even reach out and start connecting. If you're a late nighter on the East Coast and you got some friends that are late nighters, you might even reach out to some of them and try and share that new video. And it's right on the YouTube page. We'll get you more details and information on that. Maybe I'll post it in the chat here as we wrap up. But, I'm so excited that each and every one of you are sharing some of your time with us to see what we have to offer with Trip Delivers, because we are literally going to take the industry by storm. And it's just a matter of time before some of the big players realize who we are and what we're doing, and you can be a big part of disrupting this entire industry. So I'm going to bring back on our fearless leader, our CEO, and a mentor of mine. In the short time that I've known him, I've learned so much from this gentleman, and I'm sure I'm going to be learning more and more every single day that I have the pleasure and honor of working with him. Good to have you back on, Mr. McNulty.
Hey, thanks, Tony, man. You did a great presentation. I want everybody to understand how great you are, because you are. I mean, I've been around the block. I've met a lot of guys over my term in business, and you just knocked it out of the park. You got so much real world knowledge. It's like when you play pickleball or tennis. I mean, you got the moves. You know the game because you're a student of the game. The same thing here. So everybody that's on this call, I want you to understand the quality of people that we're building in the company. Bringing Tony on board to lead the field is the first piece of what we're doing. Tony and I are going to start running All the tech as of tonight, the last bit of tech that we needed to do will be up tomorrow. There's no other stuff in the tech other than little cosmetic stuff that is not showstopper stuff at all. So Tony and I are getting ready to run. So the ones that want to keep up with us, keep up with us. I can tell you this, I learned something today. It was very interesting. Tony and I had a conversation earlier this afternoon about who are the people we're going to work with. We're going to work with the winners that want to win. We're going to work with people that want to produce, and we're going to give them 100% of our time, because that's how we're going to win. We need to replicate, duplicate ourselves. And we have the same loyal people that are on this call every week, every time we have a call. So that's great. But what you're not doing, which I keep asking you to do, is bring one person besides yourself to the call. So on Saturday morning, I'd like all of you on this call to bring one other person with you. If you don't bring a person, that just tells me you're not working the business, right? Because if you're working the business, you bring somebody to the call. Well, you don't understand. Today, DoorDash went public, and we're going to be filing for an IPO. DoorDash went public today at $102 a share. They closed at $187 a share. Do you know how much money that? It's in the mega billions. That's what's in front of you guys. We have the best compensation plan on the planet. We have all the great things for everybody to participate, but the word is participate. If you want to participate, I can't make anybody, neither can Tony. What we can do is bring you to the company, give you the tools to succeed. That's what we're trying to do, is give you the success tools. And I'm going to single out an individual that I met the other day. I've known him, but I met the other day, we had lunch together, is Darius McCrae. Darius is committed to the company. He's been opening stores or opening restaurants in Las Vegas quietly. He hasn't been hey, I'm pounding my chest, man, I'm out here doing this. But I'm going to work with Darius all day long now. I'm going to help him become successful. We went to a Indian restaurant, #1 Indian restaurant in Las Vegas. He got the call on. That individual that owns that restaurant wants to dump the big 4 delivery services. He wants me to build an API that hooks into his system where he can take his customers and push them to us when they have an order, so we can be 100% of their orders. Because the amount of money, and I think you've heard this from Tony, the amount of money, if you're spending $70,000, $80,000 a year on deliveries because of markups and everything else, that really, the savings would be something like $60,000, $65,000. Our price to you would be, our price to the restaurant for that volume would probably be $14,000 to $15,000. So the economics are staggering. Well, Darius got a hold of that and understands that. And I have to tell you, the guy is professionally in a tie on, a white shirt. He had Trip Delivers on his shirt, embroidery. So he's in the game. He brought an associate with him. So she just started and she's learning the ropes from him. And then he's got a couple others. He's going to build a team. He'll have 100 restaurants before he knows it, because he's about building teams in this market. And I told him, you asked me to come to a restaurant owner, I'll be there in a minute for you, because I like what he's doing. He's a solid guy. He knows our business. He's not afraid to, knock on doors, shoe leather. He showed me stuff that I was blown away at. And so those are the things, if you want to succeed, the business is here for you to do that. I mean, you can make easily 6 figures. All you have to do is get a bunch of restaurants signed up, and you make passive income. And that's what Tony's trying to teach. He's trying to give you his world experience. Tony has got 20 plus years of experience in this business, not only in the delivery business. He's got 10 years, 12 years experience in restaurants, but he's got an additional 10 years in the sale, or more than that, in the sales side of the business. So he brings a different dynamic to the party, and the smart guys on this call and gals are going to listen to what he's saying. So you want to show up on Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, and you're going to have coffee with Tony and I, and we're going to keep dripping on you guys. And if you guys can do it, that's going to be great. And we're going to keep bringing more new people on board. We got to light this thing up. We can't sit around and wait for the market to open because we're waiting on individuals to get going. We're gonna make it happen, because the market's here now, and this market is huge. It's $1 trillion market over the next 10 years. So you're at the right place, the right time, right business model. We have a disruptive business model that nobody else has. So the only way you get to prove it, though, is if you guys get out there and open up businesses. The people we have talked to and have come on board, you saw the press release, you've seen the people we've lit up. They understand the model. That's why they're with us. So don't be afraid of getting out there. Tony and I are going to be back on a call Saturday morning. We're going to keep amping this up. Can't tell you how proud I am of Tony and how it makes me feel good that I've got a teammate that we can go down this road together, lock arms, and we know we're going to win. It's just a matter of time. Everything starts out, slow. It's a gradual build. It's crawl, walk, run. Yeah. We're just getting out of the crawl stage because now the tech is up. It's working. Yeah. There's nothing wrong. And by the way, just as a common courtesy to me, I had a guy hit me with 40 text messages, and I'm not kidding today. And I would appreciate, I'm not customer service. I'll help you all I can. But because you have an issue, don't lay it out on me and hit me with 40 text messages, because that's not really cool. I'm here to help everybody, but don't abuse it. That's all I ask you guys, because I'm very busy. And if you want my time, you're going to have to show me something. I learned that from Tony today. I've been helping people that don't want to really help themselves, so look, we have a big road, a big highway to go down. We can fill this highway up. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to succeed with this. And Canada's on the verge of coming online. I haven't even talked to Tony about that. We have, worked with the accountants, so we understand now what we have to develop from a corporation standpoint to operate in Canada. I think we'll probably be up in the next, 10 days as a corporation there. And then it's a matter of just folding up. Our system, by the way, is built to translate into kilometers and also Canadian dollars of a flip of a switch. So we just got to make those adjustments. It's all geolocated. So it's all on the same system. There's no different system. So when somebody dials in from Canada, it'll throw up the Canadian part of that website and that Canadian information. So it's very cool what we've built. But with that, I just want to say goodnight to everybody. I want to thank Tony for an amazing job. Part 2 is coming to Saturday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You guys want to be on this call. If you really want to learn and earn, just get on there with Tony, man. The guy's got it going on. So with that, Tony, I'm going to say goodnight, my friend.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it.
See everybody on Saturday morning, 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time.